So you want to skate like McDavid. Well, there's 3 things that he does really differently than a lot of players and from what is commonly taught. And those 3 things are something that we call heel pressure and shin angle. We call it aggressive heel pressure. 2 is he actually skates a lot wider than a lot of players. And then 3, he's able to maintain that heel pressure in all sorts of really fast, dynamic footwork patterns. So the first part, which is heel pressure, one of the things that he does so well, especially with his long legs, is he has heel pressure plus shin angle. What that allows him to do is it allows him to engage in something called the rocker. Now, when you rocker, it's a little different than pushing from the toe. What's commonly taught is to push from the toe and drive off that toe. If you practice this yourself, you might notice that there is a lot of tension that happens when you drive off that toe. But what allows McDavid to skate free as a bird is that he's actually really good at always planting or always having weight to his heel and then rockering to the toe effortlessly. So the foot actually ends up not having to push into the ice. He doesn't have to drive, but he's able to just move freely, and the rocker just allows him to move really quickly. So starting with that heel pressure and shin angle allows him to rocker, which allows him not to have to push, which allows him not to have to generate tension, so he can have less tension than most players, and that creates a mechanical advantage for him. That's the first thing. The second thing that he does is he's really wide in his stance when he's striding. Now, why does he do this? Well, you can only imagine it's probably because of partly due to his build, partly due to his training, but what it allows him to do is as he's really, really wide in his stance, he's not doing a full recovery. Again, with that really wide stance, he is, if you look at it from the side, he always gets that heel pressure and shin angle, and then he's again rockering from heel to toe. So he's not doing like what a typical power skating instruction would be, which is to get low and then drive, or to have that weight here, get tension in this leg while you do it, right? To balance yourself here and then push. That's like your typical coaching instruction. Instead, what he's doing is he's staying really wide and he's rockering from heel to toe, and that allows him to be super relaxed as he's going. And then the last thing that he's doing is that he's able to, in these really, really dynamic movements, always keep his weight to his heel. What it can happen is as you start getting into things like the 10 and 2, or something that we call the shuffle, what McDavid is doing, and what a lot of players don't do, is he's keeping his weight to his heels. When a lot of players get into these tight, dynamic situations that they're not super comfortable with, they get their weight to their toes, and you can feel that when you get your weight to your toes, you generate tension in your calves. When you generate tension in your calves, your whole leg gets tight. Then it's hard to balance and to be dynamic. What McDavid can do so well is in a 10 and 2, for example, is he can get his weight to his heels and move really, really smoothly. In a move like the shuffle, we often see him do the shuffle on a breakaway, where he will be crossing over wide, crossing over in, and then he'll shuffle in like this. He can keep his weight to his heels, even when so many players' natural instinct is to tighten up. And that's what's really cool about McDavid, is that he can stay so loose because his weight stays to his heels while he has shin angle in these super dynamic patterns. So those are the 3 things. 1 is weight to the heels so he can use the rocker, staying nice and loose, not having tension. 2 is he stays a lot wider than a lot of players, not following the typical power skating instruction of narrow and then pushing, so he doesn't have tension. He's using his rocker. And then 3, in very, very dynamic footwork patterns, he's able to keep his weight on his heels. So this is a downhill skating breakdown of Connor McDavid's skating style, how it's different than a lot of players and different than a lot of the coaching that you might have heard before. We actually break down the exact principles that McDavid is using in our free training. So if you want to see that, you're gonna click the link and you can access that free training. I'd love to see you there because we'll show you exactly how to do that step by step. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video.